Federal prosecutors will seek the death penalty against the armed white man who carried out racist mass at a Buffalo, New York, supermarket in 2022. According to court document, this marks first time the Justice Department under President Joe Biden has allowed prosecution of death penalty. Payton Gendron, 20, faces multiple hate crime and firearms charges in connection with the supermarket in which she killed 10 black people. He is already serving a life sentence after pleading guilty to terrorism and charges in New York State last year. His lawyers had stated in court that Gendron would be willing to plead guilty to federal charges if prosecutors agreed not seek the death penalty. Relatives, those injured and victims of attack, gathered at Buffalo Courthouse Friday morning and received news directly from Justice Department officials ahead a regularly scheduled status hearing in afternoon. I certainly understand that this makes some people happy. Mark Talley, son of victim Geraldine Talley, said after meeting with prosecutors, "I am more of a dark person. With God's permission, if I had lived 80, if he had lived to be 80, I would have preferred him tortured in prison for the rest of his life." Mark Talley, son of victim Geraldine Talley, speaks to the media on January 12, 2024 in Buffalo, New York. WKBW Mark Talley added, "I am certainly not disappointed with this decision. I would be more satisfied knowing that he would spend the rest of his life in prison, surrounded by the people he tried to kill." Simone Crawley, granddaughter of victim Ruth E. Whitfield, told CNN she has mixed feelings about Gendron's death penalty. Crawley, who lives in Columbus, Ohio, and was not at the family briefing, said Friday that the decision still does not give her closure. "This is something where there has never been an outcome that can measure the impact that has occurred," Crawley said. "It's hard because you think this is highest level of justice. But at the same time some people may think it's not as harsh a reality as spending rest of your life behind bars." Pamela Pritchett, whose mother, Pearl Young, was killed in the told CNN on Friday, "I'd rather have a scar than a gaping wound. I know they're seeking the death penalty, which means there will probably be appeal after appeal. And with every appeal, the scar is there." Michelle Fryson, niece of Pearl Young and cousin of Margus Morrison, both victims, described the verdict as a gut punch. Closing measure for victims' families. The status hearing Friday afternoon was brief, and Gendron was not present when the federal prosecutor announced the decision. Gendron's attorneys, Sonya, Zoghlin and MaryBeth Covert, said after hearing that they were deeply disappointed in the decision to seek death penalty. They noted that their client was 18 at the time of the crime and was currently serving a life sentence without parole, instead of a protracted traumatic death penalty investigation. Federal government's E.